Hello, everyone. News Channel 3, Chief Meteorologist Keith Thompson with your live weather update here on this Monday evening. Let me see if I can get this back into phase here where I think we're going here. There we go. That's what I want to show you. Hope you're having a good Monday evening. Things are about to change here for us. Weather. Zip this thing around. There we go. That's what I want to do. All right. On our Facebook and YouTube weather live update. Well, we have plenty to talk about. You know, for so long, it seems like, well, we just don't really have a lot to talk about. Not the case for today and for every day this week. And of course, of all weeks, active weather for Thanksgiving. Chris, bring on the snow. I know you're going to be in your element. Hello to you in Coopersville. Thanks for checking in from the OC there, the Ottawa County. Yeah, so we have some big changes coming. Of course, you know, it's late November, so it's not a shocker that our weather gets to be rather active at this time of year. And so in this particular case, it looks like it's going to coincide with Thanksgiving. And pretty much what we're going to have here, let's say in chronological order, is rain and then wind and then colder air turning the rain to snow, and then lake effect snow showers, and then a bit of a lull, that's Friday, and then system snow, which could be bringing a few inches of accumulation area wide. That would be for Saturday, with a rain-snow mix developing for Sunday. So it is going to be changing day by day. Hello to you. Pugs are us. Thanks for being here. Todd, I saw your thing earlier today, your post on my, or your comment on my post. Liquid gold, right? Not liquid gold. Snowy gold, whatever you want to call it. White gold. Is that what you called it, I think? So Todd's got that truck ready to go, I'm sure, with that big old plow up there. And all of the folks who are plowing and who see money in that snow are going to be licking their chops. Although, let me tell you this. I think that the bigger snow is going to potentially come from the Saturday system, not necessarily from the lake effect. And the lake effect, I think, will be a little bit more targeted, as it always is, as opposed to the system snow, which will be a little bit more widespread. Now, that system snow is still several days out. We're talking Saturday, and this is Monday. So I think there's a little more clarity, and there is a little more clarity, a little more definition to what's going to be happening over the next 2 to 3 days, meaning Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thanksgiving Day, as opposed to what's going to be happening on Saturday. But let's deal with all of it here on our YouTube and Facebook live update. Again, thanks everybody for being here and hanging with me here as I got here a little bit late because I was writing up an article that'll be on our website. That should be published anytime now. So you can find that on our website as well. Just wrapped that one up. Carla, thanks for that. I appreciate it very much. Definitely wanted to be here for everybody on this weather occasion for sure. Jesse, hello to you in the Berg. Linda, is Battle Creek going to have high winds? Yes, you will have gusty winds there in BC. And you know what I said earlier, I posted on my Facebook page, shameless plug. You know, I've got a little blow up snowman out there, Frosty, part of the Christmas decorations. And I got to tell you, I unplugged the guy earlier today before I came into work and just pulled him in. One, because I hadn't anchored him down yet with those you know, plugs that you put in the ground. Why can I not think of what those are called? But it's stakes that you put in the ground. But also because it's going to be pretty windy for any outdoor decorations. Keep that in mind. You know, being serious about that. It's going to be pretty windy for any outdoor decorations. We're talking mainly for Wednesday. If we were doing a Herbie Kirby alert, it would be a high level Herbie Kirby alert. I'm going to have that coming up in just a little bit. David, hello to you. Time to prep the snowblower. That is a good plan. Good plan. Although, listen, here's a little wrinkle on the lake effect snow. And that is because the wind is going to be so gusty on Thursday. It's going to max out on Wednesday. But Thursday, it'll still be plenty breezy. And accumulating lake effect snow, wind is not a friend for that. And so it's going to do two things. First, I really do think it's going to hold the accums down just a little bit. The air will certainly be cold enough, I think, for some lake effect. But also it's going to be pushing it in farther inland. And so, David, there on the lakeshore, you know, Holland, you might not see that much. You really may not see that much of the lake effect going on from Wednesday night through Thursday and into Friday. It could be that this ends up dumping a little bit more closer to 131 and maybe even east of US 131, as I'll show you coming up in an hour by hour. That'll be in just a little bit. Jeanette, hello to you. A lot of houses decorated for Christmas in Coldwater. I'm sure it is beautiful down there. Joyce, cancel doctor's appointments. Well, at least this is the holiday. So we're talking about Thursday and Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday primarily. So, at least we have the holiday weekend. So we don't have to worry about school closings because I don't think this is really going to be hitting hard enough. And most schools are out Wednesday anyway. Tomorrow, what we're looking at is some rain. Let's see. Carla, thank you so much for that. Yeah, I saw that. Okay. I knew that's who it was. I really did. Wilson, good evening to you. Okay. Looks like I've got some gardening to do. We can get rid of that. Okay. Reed, pennies from heaven. How about dollar bills from heaven, right? Sandra, hello to you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh boy, got some more gardening to do here. All right. Tina, hello to you. Thanks. From Jones, thanks for checking in. Katrina, hello to you. And is it Carla? Oh, sorry. Carla, that's not that hard to see. From Carla and Carson in Union City. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ron, hello to you. Kylie, hello. And Jarrett, haven't seen you in a little while. Let's get right to it. I'm going to have to go away from the 2 more days of your daughter's birthday. Kylie, I'm glad I got that in. Gloria is here from Athens. Thanks for checking in. Ron, hello. Don, hello to you in Buchanan. Thank you for checking in there. Hello, Berrien County. Jerry, it is chilly in Benton Harbor, Jerry. Speaking of Berrien County. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point, David. If the lake effect doesn't get you, the system snow will. All right, let me move on here. Let me squeeze this back and we'll get to it, and hopefully we'll answer your questions that way. All right, starting off with the bus stop forecast, because there are still some, school day for tomorrow. Off to school with some light rain. I'm going to show you that coming up at about 42 degrees. And then coming home with some showers. Looking at a high temperature of about 47, 48. I've got a high in the low 50s right now, and that might be a little bit too much. Right now I'm thinking the afternoon might only be in the upper 40s to around 50. It's not going to be that far off. But it is going to be a rain gear ready Tuesday. It's going to be a rain gear ready Tuesday for sure. A quick look at the holiday forecast. That 34, I'm definitely going to move that down. I think that's going to be closer to 30, 31 degrees. So I'm going to move that down. But it will be windy. Not as windy as Wednesday, by the way, but it will be windy. I think we're going to have 15 to 25 with maybe some 30 gusts on Thanksgiving Day as opposed to 40 to 50 gusts on the day before, Wednesday. And that will also give us some of those lake effect snow showers as well. Marquette, William, when you're talking about up there, up in the UP there, double-digit snowfall up there in spots for sure, with the lake effect that's coming off of Lake Superior there. So yeah, you're talking some big-time snow up there. Got to get the big boy snowblower out for this one, right? Yeah. Oh no, my niece just put out a huge bumblebee, 10 foot tall and automated. I would honestly, if I had something that was a blow-up decoration out there, I honestly would bring it in. Until probably Friday. I know that sort of stinks. It'll be all right out there tomorrow. Tomorrow's winds actually are going to be pretty light. It's not going to build until Wednesday. Wednesday is when it's going to get windy. So you could leave it out there. I might have been a little premature in bringing my snowman, bringing my Frosty in this afternoon. It could be up tomorrow. But Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, a little much. Saturday, it'll be all right. You can put it back out there on Saturday. I mean, again, that's up to you. Maybe not. Family members coming up from Indiana. Well, it depends on where they're going to be, Philip. I'll get to that in just a few moments. Hello to you in Houston. Thanks for checking in. In Gulf Shores, Alabama, you're not talking about lake effect snow down there. That's for sure. Thanks for checking in. Put your A's up down there. Roll Tide, right? Ohio State in the house. Robert, thanks for being here and representing the Buckeyes. Supposed to get 8 to 12 inches of snow. You're probably looking at some hefty system snow. It's going to be interesting because I love it. We're getting our snow legs back on here. Lake effect to me is like a mosquito that's like buzzing around. It's like, come on. It's the system snow that I think is more fun to forecast. So we're talking track of that storm, and that's why we're 5 days out. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. You might get pounded down there in the Buckeye State, Robert. So keep that in mind. Jerry, that's a good idea, putting some rocks on those blow-ups. That's true. Gobel's going to get some lake effect here. Tasha, Philip, hello to you in Vicksburg. Jana, Bill, happy Turkey Day to you too. All right, there's the thumbnail. Again, tomorrow, pretty boring day. It's going to not a lot of wind tomorrow. Above average temperatures tomorrow with some rain. A blah day, but not really very active. The active weather starts Wednesday. And really, Wednesday and Thursday are very active. Friday, a bit of a lull. Saturday, Sunday, probably active again. I got a 3-day thumbnail here for our holiday weekend. For those who are leaving on Wednesday, hopefully you're in-house on Thursday, but you might be traveling on Thursday and then Friday. So again, I think Wednesday and Thursday are the challenging days. All right, let's go hour by hour. You'll see what I'm talking about here. Got that area of low pressure. This is tomorrow night. This is Tuesday night, 11 o'clock. You see I got that low out there over southern Minnesota there. You can see that classic comma shape there to the cloud and precipitation pattern. All right, the blue, remember, is the snow. The green is the rain. And you see, look at Minneapolis at 35 tomorrow night. While here in West Michigan, we're hanging out at about 50 degrees. Remember, counterclockwise flow around that low. So picture that when you look at that graphic. And of course, that means you see the colder air is coming in on the west side of the low. That's why Sioux City and Des Moines and Kansas City are going to be so much colder than we are here in West Michigan, because we're on the east side of that low, the east side of that front, and that's where warmer air is going to be coming in from the south. Well, it doesn't take long. Wednesday morning, we'll start to see that storm move off or over the Great Lakes. And so that cold front is going to be moving through Wednesday morning. It'll likely be moving through round about daybreak. I'm looking here to see what we're checking out. Let's see, tomorrow's 25th, 26th. Yeah, I think it is going to be, it'll definitely be crossing our bow here by about daybreak. I think before daybreak, really, it starts to move through. By 9 o'clock, our model here, as you can see, Cleveland at 50, Detroit at 46, Kalamazoo at 39, Chicago at 35. You can see where the cold front is. Now let's push it on into Wednesday evening. Now you can see we have gone from the green precipitation now to the blue, and you can definitely see that northwest to southeast orientation there in the snow pattern. And that's when we're going to start to see those accumulations. So by Wednesday evening, I think we're going to see snow showers. The colder air is going to continue. Midnight, Thanksgiving, we're talking about low 30s. How about 7 a.m. Thanksgiving? Now, again, if you're I-69-ish, if you are US 127-ish, no problem until you get up to the northern lower. That's a whole nother ball of wax there. And, of course, the UP, too. But if you're heading over to Detroit, for example, you'll be all right. You should be good. All right, you should be good. Could be some slick roads out there with some of that rain that turn to a rain-snow mix, and then we have sub-freezing temperatures. So I'm not going to say that there won't be any slick spots on the roads, but I don't think it's going to be a huge problem for Thanksgiving Day travel for those who are heading east. And really for those who are likely heading south. But as you know, if you've been around our place for a long time, if you are hanging around closer to Lake Michigan, then you're going to be dealing with more of these snow showers. In fact, you can see them there. This is 1 o'clock Thursday. We're talking 30 degrees, and you see those, right? Southwest and northeast oriented snow bands. Not just here off of Lake Michigan. Get the same thing over in Ontario off of Lake Huron. You get the same thing there from Cleveland all the way over to Erie, Pennsylvania, coming off of Lake Erie. And then, of course, we're talking Buffalo. They're coming off of Lake Ontario. So this is pretty classic here. How much snow are we going to get out of this? This is really iffy because of the wind. But it looks like our forecast model here going from Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, when it will start to kick in, to Thursday and into Friday morning, when I think it will start to relax just a little bit. Again, by our lake effect snow standards, this is not huge, but we're talking about maybe a 2 to 4 incher. But notice it's going to be oriented a little bit further east than what we normally see. And again, that speaks to the fact that the wind is going to be pushing those bands, stretching them off to the east a little bit more. Driving to Chicago on Friday, driving home on Sunday. Oh boy. Stay tuned. I wouldn't say cancel it, but I would say just be aware of where there might be some lake effect snow going on. I don't think Friday. We're talking about road conditions Friday that might be an issue. Friday is what? Is the 28th. Still could see some see some action along I-94 there in Berrien County. But it might be one of those nuances where it's like if you hop down to 80, 90 and head over that way, it won't be as much of an issue. And then Sunday coming back, probably not much of a problem, but that's still iffy because that's system snow dependent. Ben, could be quite the travel headache. And you know what I think is going to be a huge story for travel on Wednesday? You know, a lot of folks are maybe trying to hit the air on Wednesday. I think, you know, air travel could be impacted, especially by these very strong winds as well. Driving to, that's David. Okay, David, just stay in touch on that one. Glenn, hello to you in Alabama. We got 2 in Alabama now here. Thank you so much for checking in. And thank you, Matt. And we do have some snow plow weather. Yeah, let me get to it. This is how much snow from our lake effect event, okay? So let me move on here. I want to show you our future wind gusts, and I do not know why it is doing that. It's not supposed to be doing that. But did you see those wind gusts? I did not put my stops in there. I saw wind gusts in there. This is a forecast model that's looking at wind gusts. Let me move on to the next map. Up 50 plus. So I know the Weather Service, National Weather Service in Grand Rapids yesterday, even yesterday afternoon in their forecast discussion, was talking about the potential for power outages. Look, if we top 50-mile-per-hour winds, I think that we're probably going to have some power outages. This cold air that's coming in behind this front, which will be moving through, like I said, right before daybreak on Wednesday, will be bringing in some of that much colder air. And it's going to be certainly in place. Our temps are going to be crashing on Wednesday. So that 40 that you see, that's just sort of an approximation of where we're going to be. You know, if you want to take a look at it here, we're talking about upper 40s maybe around midnight, tomorrow night, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. And then our temps are going to crash. So by daybreak Wednesday, we're probably going to be in the neighborhood of the upper 30s to around 40, and we're going to be sinking into the low 30s by the end of the day Wednesday. So temps are going to be falling during the day on Wednesday. They bottom out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and that's when I think we're going to see those lake effect snow showers. And then with this next system coming in for Saturday, I know the question was asked, how much out of that system snow that's coming in here for Saturday? I will say this so far, I think the potential is there for maybe 3 to 5 or 3 to 6 inches area wide. There's so much to still be determined on that. One snow at a time, right? So we've got the lake effect that's going to be going on that I showed you just a few moments. And then we have that system that's coming in on Saturday. Like I said earlier, I think there's a pretty decent amount of clarity and confidence in what's going to happen tomorrow with the rain, Wednesday with the big wind and the falling temperatures, rain turned to snow, and the lake effect snow showers on Thursday within in the neighborhood of 2 to 4 inches, closer actually to US 131 or a little bit east, a little bit of a nuance there thanks to the stronger winds. And then we await that next storm that's going to be coming in here for Saturday and Sunday, Saturday primarily. And that does have the potential of, I would say right now, bringing maybe a 3 to 6 incher. Hey, that's going to be really determined on a couple of things. One, of course, always the storm path. What path is the low going to take? And 5 days out, that is a wild card, a bit of a wild card. Remember, consistency over time equals confidence. So we want to see a consistent storm path there. And right now, we're just starting to see some of that. And another thing is, the area of low pressure is going to be in such a spot that it might actually give us enough warm air coming in ahead of the snow that it's going to sort of warm up the atmosphere to where we're going to get a mix of rain and snow. And you know what? The death knell for accumulating snow is put any rain in there and it just knocks it down. That's an if, that's a potential, that's something that we have to think about for Saturday too. So there's a lot still to be determined about the Saturday system. Not so much about what's going to be happening over the next 48 hours, 72 hours even. Not a lot of, there's pretty good clarity, I think, on that. But the Saturday system, there's still some things to be determined. Hello to you, Robin. Good to see you there. Thank you so much. I did see Tom, Jesse. I did. I saw him. That's all right. I understand that. But I did get to see Tom and say hello to him and say hello to Daddy Warbucks. So thanks very much, Jesse. Tell him I said hello next time you see him. David says, bring on the snow. You're off. Hey, Bridgman, you could be seeing some of that medical. Hey, thank you so much, Candace. That means a lot to me. Hey, my 1-year anniversary on that is coming up Thursday. I'll never forget the people who are involved in that, ever. Never forget that. Thank you so much. Danny, hello to you. on the line in Three Rivers. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Robert, I don't know what you're responding to there, but I say thank you for being here. Antoine, hello to you. I think it's going to be a wet snow. The lake effect, I think, is going to be a wetter snow. And certainly if we get that system snow in here on Saturday, that's going to be a wet snow as well. So let's pop on over to the temperatures. Right now, we're in the mid-40s. There's not a lot going on right now. So let me see if I can zip right on through to get the 7-day up. There's a little bit of that rain that we have going on right now. Like I said, it's going to be damp at the bus stop. Here's your 7-day. So there's that big cool down. Crashing temps on Wednesday, lake effect snow showers, Wednesday night into Thursday, a little bit left over for Friday, and then we wait that system snow coming in for Saturday with a rain snow mix on Sunday. We got a mess on our hands coming up here. By the way, get this. Monday is December the 1st. What happened in November? Right? Rocky, hello to you. We're finally getting some snow again for sure. Thanks very much, Lily, for being here. Jared, appreciate it. Shauna, will this be the end of the 40s and 50s? Well, I'll tell you, there's never an end of the 40s and 50s, even in the dead of winter around here. But this will signify, in my opinion, yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, no. Let me take that back. We could make a run back up into the 40s by the 1st and 2nd of next month. Yeah. But then it's going to get cold again, so. Never, but no. Is it the end of the 60s? I'd say we're probably going to not see 60s for a while. But 40s and 50s? Nope. All right, everybody, got to skate. Look at that. I got 9:43, 9:44 on the clock. I started awfully late. I apologize for that. Thank you for hanging with me on this one. I'll be live in 16 minutes. I got to go put my microphone on in the studio there for News Channel 3 Live at 10 on ARC, West Michigan. That means in an hour and 16, I'll be on the Mothership News Channel 3. Hope to find you there. Don't forget, I'm on Facebook, WWMT's Keith Thompson. All these weather updates, posting these graphics as well. Love to see your pictures. Feel free to send some of those my way too. Instagram, Threads, X, and YouTube at the @ Weatherman Keith, all lowercase, all one word. My good buddy Jeff Porter, Must See TV. Tomorrow morning, he's here, live updates 4:30 to 9. He's got you again at noon. I'll pick you back up at 5, 5:30, and 6. We are definitely doing a Facebook Live tomorrow, and I will make doubly sure. I know you don't believe me, but that I'll be here closer to 9 o'clock instead of 9:20. I appreciate your patience with that, too. Appreciate your patience with that. You know what? I'll have to go back and look, David. We might not have had one. We might not have had a system snow last year, but we usually pick them up. You know, when they come up out of the Ohio Valley, and if they hang into the Ohio Valley just off to our south, and that comes right after a cold front that's moved through, classic setup for us to get a pretty good dose of snow. So we'll have to wait and see. That's still 5 days out. And between now and then, we've got plenty to think about. We have plenty on our plate. It's almost like we're at the buffet. Let's eat this first plate first, and then we'll think about what we got going on for seconds. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. Lily, thanks. Shannon, good to see you. Thank you so much. I'm going to skate on out of here. Hey, I hope everybody has a good night tonight. We made it past Monday. Let's hit that Tuesday hard. Hopefully it's a short week for you holiday-wise. So if that's the case, then, you know, we're almost to the weekend, if you will. If I don't see you live tonight on the tube, I'll catch up with you again tomorrow. In the meantime, watch out for some of those showers tomorrow. Tomorrow's a pretty boring day. The action starts on Wednesday, and I'll be here, and so will Jeff. We'll keep you weather alert for sure. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much for being here, for chatting with me, too. I appreciate it. It means a lot. Good night, everybody.